Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Dave, and we're back for another manager legend experiment. Today, we're going to be checking out Frankie Lampard at Chelsea. Of course, he's in management at Derby at the moment, but we're going to be testing him out at Chelsea. We'll have a quick look at him in a second. If you're a regular viewer and you're enjoying the Wolves Youth Academy Challenge save, don't worry. Season 3 will be coming out very, very soon. I've just been a bit busy over the last week, so that'll be coming shortly. And before we kick off, make sure you go and check out my channel sponsors over at OneFootball, guys. They're the #1 football app out there at the moment. It's free on Android and iOS. There's a link to it in the description down below if you wanted to go and check it out. You pick your favourite team. You have all the notifications catered to your favourite team. You can check out live scores, live news, the works. So yeah, make sure you go and check those guys out. And now we've got that out of the way, we're going to be checking out Frank Lampard. Basically, guys, if you don't know why we're doing this, a few years ago I did this and it was quite fun. And long term, I want us to have a Premier League full of ex-legends and so on. Just to see who comes out on top, really. So, as you can see, we've got Lampard now at Chelsea, 40 years of age in game. And quite similar to the Steven Gerrard experiment is that coaching attributes aren't brilliant. And, of course, being such a fairly young manager with not really much experience, they're going to be quite low. However, they will rise over the years as long as he can do well. Mentally, his attributes are very good, though. 18 determination, 11 a level of discipline, 11 man management, and 12 motivation. Determination, obviously, is the best one there. Adaptability is 10. And his knowledge, is not brilliant. Ability and potential, judging player ability and potential, both 9. And tactical knowledge of 13. Other than that, there's nothing else that really stands out for me. It looks like his preferred formation is the 4-1-4-1 DM wide. It'll be interesting to see if that changes with how he plays with Chelsea. And passive playing, so on an attacking coaching style. So, we may as well jump into it. Before we do that, though, we'll quickly check out where Chelsea are predicted to finish this season. If we go into general, media predicted to be 3rd in the league. They're currently in the Europa League as well, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on in there. And obviously, as you can see, Frank Lampard listed as a club legend. Let's skip forward to the end of the first season and see how he gets on. So then we're at the end of the first season, and so far so good, I suppose. No available jobs including Chelsea, and Lampard is not on the insecure jobs. So let's double check he's still got the job, and he does. He's still the manager of Chelsea, and nothing really has improved as such here with the managerial side of things on his attributes. But it's pleased to be in charge of one of his favourite clubs. So far, so good. Let's go on to Chelsea now and see how they got on this season. They finished 3rd in the Premier League. It looks like they brought in some new players as well, which we'll look at shortly. So, yeah, let's have a quick look. If we go into competitions and senior squad, the media prediction actually dropped to 5th. But he managed to finish 3rd, 78 points, level with 2nd placed Arsenal, level with 4th placed Manchester United, and Manchester City missing out on the top 4 by 3 points as well. But Chelsea right in the middle of it, a decent goal difference of 35 as well, but Man City with a slightly better goal difference missing out. Fulham, Huddersfield and Palace were the teams to go down. As you can see, Alvaro Morata was the top goal scorer as well with 16 goals. Now, in the Europa League, they were knocked out in the semi-final by AC Milan. Arsenal obviously went on to beat them. In the FA Cup, they were knocked out in the 4th round by Brentford. Arsenal went on to win that as well. So, a couple of big trophies for Arsenal. And then in the Carabao Cup, they were knocked out by the eventual winners, Tottenham Hotspur, in the semi-final. So, close, but not close enough in a couple of the competitions. However, they did get a little bit of silverware, winning the Community Shield, which would have been, I assume, if you class it as a competitive game, that would have been Lampard's first competitive game. But throughout the season, as you can see, they were mainly stayed 3rd. There was a couple of times when they were 2nd in the league, but I don't really think they had a big spell at 1st place if they ever got there. Onto the transfer history though, Lampard, 1st season in charge, 1st season at a club with quite big money, spends £85 million. Emerson obviously came in real life, so that one we can rule out. But they signed De Ligt from Ajax, Bentancur from Juventus, Fagner from Corinthians, and Almiron from Atlanta. He seems to be quite a popular signing in the game. We'll check out De Ligt first, see if Lampard's given him much game time. He had a fair whack of game time in the league, to be fair. 15 starts, 7 appearances off the bench as well. Looking like a really good player, still only 19 years of age. Bentancur from Juve, he spent quite a lot of money on. Barely broke into the team, but I suppose he's still young. Fagner from Corinthians, 29 years of age, a little bit older, seems to be a backup player, got 11 appearances. And Almiron as well, again, barely broke into the team, 25 years of age though, so he's probably going to be wanting more first team football, but I'd assume Chelsea could make a profit on him if they look to sell. Couple of players left. Gary Cahill went to Wolves, Zappacosta went to Lazio, and Piazza went to Corinthians. Let's have a quick look at the tactics as well. Did Lampard play that 4-1-4-1 that we were expecting? Yeah, I think that they class that as a 4-1-4-1 DM wide. And that's how he's played. He played David Luiz in the last game as a defensive midfielder. Hazard and Willian and Morata. Obviously, Morata doing quite well. Grabbing a lot of goals. This season, though, Kepa playing 55 games. However, Hazard and Kante playing more. That is a big, long season for Chelsea. Playing loads of games. Top goal scorer was Morata in all competitions with 24. Hazard grabbed 18. Giroud with 15. Willian didn't have a bad returner with 11 either. And the most assists was Willian with 11. Kante with 9. Hazard with 9 as well. Best average rating throughout the whole season was Hazard, as you'd probably expect. Morata just in behind with 7.29 and 7.26 for Willy Cavallero, but he only played 5 games. However, that's a good debut season for Frankie Lampard. We're going to be moving on to season 2 now. We're going to be hoping that he can build on that slightly. Can we see a Premier League win from Lampard, or are we going to have to wait again? Is he going to lose his job? There's a lot of pressure on him to, you know, he had a pretty successful season. They're going to be expected top 4 again. And I'd say his signings weren't too inspiring, so it's going to be a big season for him. So then we've come to the end of the 2019-2020 season. And if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you can see there Chelsea have hired Zinedine Zidane. So it looks like Frank Lampard has lost his job or he's moved on to pastures new. No, it looks like he's just moved on. Straight away, though, we can see some of his attributes have improved as a manager, which we were expecting. But unfortunately, he's lost his job as Chelsea boss. Let's go and see what happened, though. If it's only just happened, not transfer history, we'll go on to managers. And he has literally just been sacked in the last few weeks or so in game. Had a really decent record, 63% win percentage. He got a cup win, which is a Community Shield, so nothing major. But obviously, Zinedine Zidane has come in. Only 15 losses out of all his games, which I don't think is bad at all. But let's go and see how Lampard did this season then. Finishing 5th in the Premier League. Obviously missing out on the Champions League. That was their media predicted finish again. They did quite well, but missing out on the Champions League by 1 point. Really, really good quality. And they obviously had quite a bit of a dip at the start of the season, which probably didn't do them any favours. But throughout the whole season, really top 4. And then the last few games of the season, dropping out of the top 4. Champions League knocked out in the quarter-final by Atletico Madrid. FA Cup knocked out in the 5th round by Brighton. And 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Norwich. But as you can see, Odsonne Edouard seems to have had a fantastic season for Chelsea. Let's see. They spent 256 million, but bringing in 209 million as well. The big outs, and Eden Hazard left the club to Arsenal. That's quite a surprise. Michy Batshuayi went to Bayern for almost 40 million. Bakayoko to Milan. Loftus-Cheek, Victor Moses. Fagner left the club. Ross Barkley as well. So big players left. A few players out on a free. Giroud. Anyone else of note? A few players out on loan, but nothing else massive. Now the players that came in, 65 million spent on Leon Bailey. He would have been the Hazard replacement. He played a massive chunk of games, just missing out on the 1 game in the league, but he had a really good return of 14 goals. Looks like he's not a bad replacement. Wilfried Zaha came in as well. He only started 2 games in the Premier League. It's a lot of money to spend on someone that's going to be sitting on the bench. Now, Odsonne Edouard, this was the big signing. I've seen him on a few saves turn into a great player. And he has a really, really good return of goals. Let's check his stats. In the league, he got a goal every 142 minutes. In the Champions League, he got a goal every 92 minutes. Very, very good return. 6'2", great striker. If you want a good forward for fairly cheap, maybe 1st or 2nd season, he's the man for you. Jose Guy came in from Valencia for almost 30 million. Again, barely played. Federico Chiesa from Fiorentina, 62 million. And he's barely playing football. Really, a lot of money to spend. 40 million on Calabria from Milan. 27 games all season. How much did Chiesa play? 18 on someone you spent 62 million on. This guy, 13 games, goalkeeper, playing mostly in the Europa League. So was he out on loan, was he? Was he only just signed? Oh, he must have only just signed from Dynamo. And then Danny Jimenez on a free transfer, another goalkeeper. So he's in the under 23s. A lot of money was spent. Tactic-wise, again, sticking with the same formation, but Bailey looked like he had a really good season. Best average rating this season was Odsonne Edouard, no surprises. He was top goal scorer as well with Leon Bailey with 20 goals. And most appearances in Kante, a really long season again for them. But unfortunately, Frank Lampard hasn't lasted. Very similar case to Steven Gerrard, where they've both been sacked sort of second season syndrome for the legend managers at the moment. If you've got any other suggestions for legends that you want to see at your club, let me know in the comment section down below. But unfortunately, Frank Lampard hasn't lasted. He's doing okay in real life with Derby at the moment. Will we ever see him take charge of a big club? And of course, his beloved Chelsea in the future. Who knows? But make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you've got any more suggestions, let me know. And until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.